Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Chris Olivier and this is my channel Best Day Ever Today. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about disability and amputation, and more specifically 5 things I did not expect to encounter in my world after my amputation and subsequent disability. Right after this. So when you lose a limb, when I lost my leg, there is the obvious loss, which is the loss of the leg. What I did not consider at the time is that there would be many secondary losses. But as I promised, today we're going to look at the 5 things I never expected to encounter after the loss of my leg. Number 1, first on the list, is that I would lash out at the people that I love the most. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this vlog today is because this weekend my family and I went to a beautiful part of South Africa called the West Coast National Park. The reason we go there is because there's a mile swim in this beautiful lagoon, pristine circumstances, it's a family day, a family event. It's also a passion we all share, so we all swim the mile. It's healthy and you're supposed to go there and come in with a good feeling. However, I managed to screw it all up through my poor behavior, and it all has to do with unresolved anger and unbelievable. I did not expect that my anger would have the capacity to creep up in me like that at the most unexpected times. And what it does is, in the end, is I lash out at the people that I really care about and the people that really care about me. I'm talking about somebody who, when I was in the hospital for 5 months, was there every single day, although it took her an extra 2 hours or more out of a day to come and visit me, who brought me meals when I couldn't eat the hospital food anymore, who gave me courage when I at times felt like I couldn't do this anymore, who got the doctors to assist when she thought that my care wasn't good enough, who kept my friends and other people informed as to what was going on. That very same person who would help me to get to the water when I'm at an event, the same person who would carry my kayak for me when I can't get into the water, the same person who would help me to get to the water with my surfboard. So in short, the one person that tries to make my life easier by helping me and loving me, I lash out to. This is something I did not expect. It was not a part of who I used to be, and it's something I did not expect would happen after I'd lost my leg. Number 2, the loss of my identity. My identity prior to the accident was all about being the outdoors guy, about being out there riding my motorbike, taking people on adventures and excursions, taking them to new places. So the guy was physically able, so when somebody would struggle with doing something, I would be the person who would try and assist them, and I took great pride in it. My identity was seriously built on my ability to be the physical, helpful person. Now, when I had the accident, that was ripped away from me completely. It's something I never thought about at the time. And after the amputation, it dawned on me just what a massive impact losing our limb could have on who we think we are. I think this is something most people do not expect. And if you're in a position, or if you're in a situation where you've lost a limb, or you're facing amputation, this is an area that truly deserves a lot of attention and a lot of focus. To go to somebody who's trained or that can help, somebody who's been there, a therapist, a counselor, or somebody who knows what it's all about. Please do not neglect that aspect of your recovery from your amputation. The third thing that happened is my addiction to opioids. While I was in hospital for 5 months, 2 months in intensive care and 3 months in inpatient care, I was in a lot of pain, and I was prescribed a medication called pethidine, which is a very serious opioid, which is essentially a synthetic heroin. It was given to me on demand every 2 to 4 hours. The doctors were happy to keep me on pethidine, considering the nature of my injuries and the level of pain that I was in. And it helped. Of course it helped. There was a lot of pain, and it took away a lot of the pain for a long time. The only thing is I became physically and emotionally dependent on these opioids. Now, we all know that in the US there's a huge opioid epidemic. Well, not just in the US, I think it's a worldwide phenomenon. I work in the world of addiction now, and opioid addiction is a serious problem, way too easily accessible. So if you're in a situation where you've lost a limb, or where you might lose a limb, or you have a badly injured limb, be careful. Please be aware of the opioid issue and the pain medication issue. What could have been an accident with subsequent treatment in hospital, maybe an outpatient program, and getting on with my life, with all the other things that would go with losing a leg or loss of a limb. The opioid addiction prolonged the suffering and the agony, and to this day, at times, is a serious obstacle in my life. If you can, bust the painkiller dependence as quickly as possible. If possible, don't even go there. it is a very, very dark space to get into. Number 4, I never thought it would take me 6 to 8 years to truly confront the demons of what my disability had brought me. I remember getting a call from a friend of mine who had an accident and lost the use of his one leg, and was also in a lot of pain. He gave me a call and he said, "Chris, I know that you've lost your leg. I'm wanting to tell you that I believe that you've moved through it quite well, but typically these things take 4 to 8 years to come back and get you." And he was right. At the time, I thought nothing of it, but he was right. He was right. So the true darkness of having lost a limb came back to haunt me later. And as I spoke about the opioids early on, that was the way in which I medicated and took away the pain, the emotional pain. No more physical pain, but the emotional pain of what was going on. So if you're an amputee, or if you're in a situation where you're looking at potential amputation, address the demons. Please go to places where you might feel reluctant to go, or the difficult places to go to, and once again, please do so with somebody who's qualified to help take you through all those difficulties. Number 5, I never thought in a million years that disability and amputation would bring quality of life to my world, that my amputation would ultimately take me into a space where I'd reevaluate what I was doing. I was stuck in a world of sales and marketing that I did not like, that I got into as a result of family pressures and family influence, and that having all the loss of an amputation and a disability and subsequent addiction would force me to confront all these realities and all these things that I really didn't feel so good about in my life, all these things that I was engaging in that were not a part of who I wanted to be. Do something about it, go back to college and study and qualify myself as a counselor, to start doing work in a space that I felt was meaningful and helpful to people. So if you had told me the day that I had my accident that Chris, today you would have an accident, you would lose your leg, subsequently you'd become addicted to opioids and all the horrible things that come with that, you'd get yourself into a really dark space, you'd have to face many demons. But that's okay, because ultimately you'll put all that to good use and you'll be a happier person. I would have said, who would want that? Who would want that? That's bizarre. Who would want that for themselves? But it's true. And that's how things worked out. And for that, I'm immensely grateful. I'm not suggesting that we should seek out suffering or pain. What I'm suggesting is that if it's there, if it's happened, is to try and find some meaning in it and to see how we can put it to use for ourselves and for the benefit of others. Okay guys, those are my 5 points that I wanted to share today. I hope that for those of you that are looking at potential amputation, and for those of you that are amputees, for those of you that live with amputees, for those of you that need to help amputees, maybe you're a caregiver, that some of this has been insightful and that maybe it'll assist you to learn a few things about yourself, or to be able to learn something about the person that you're working with. And if you have any more questions, anything that you're curious about, or anything that you want to ask me about my experiences in disability and all the related problems that come along with it, please put them in the comments below. Feel free to ask. I'll answer them as openly and candidly as I can. I'll keep coming back at you with these vlogs on disability and addiction, and also fun, some of the fun stuff, not only the difficulties. So hit the like button, please subscribe so you can get a notification of when I post something new, and come back. Alright, thanks for listening. See ya. Oh, and I'm back. Just before I forget, a question that I've been asked a few times is, why did you call your channel Best Day Ever today? Well, there's a simple answer to that, is that it's not as though life is always fun or always wonderful, always filled with fun and games, or that it's not without difficulties or struggles or sadness, or of course that happens, that's a part of life. But when I consider the amount of times I put myself at risk of losing my life through either my extreme sport or through an addiction. I mean, I lost my leg, for goodness sake, due to a paragliding accident. That I never died in that accident is nothing short of a miracle. As far as I'm concerned, if I can wake up in the morning, open my eyes and look at the sunlight, it's got to be the best day ever today. Thank you. See ya.